other day here in paradise. But at least it's a lot warmer out this morning than it was the last 2 days. Sheesh. It's 21 degrees Fahrenheit today. It was 11 yesterday. Oh, 13 the day before. Just weird because I think by the end of the day it's supposed to be like 38 degrees. I was like, wow, I should have wore shorts. But I guess Doctor Magazine's out today, I believe, and it's like, but a lot of people are still guessing, pointing fingers, and trying to figure out what's what. Meanwhile, they announced that Doctor Who was streamed over 50 million times last year on BBC iPlayer, but the show's been killed. You have to love it when they'll throw the overnight ratings in your face like mad, yet they don't look at the streaming figures, which is where everything's going. It's terrestrial TV, as days are numbered. It's kind of sad too, us guys who grew up with independent TV stations and things like that. Back in the days when we had 3, 5, 8, sometimes 11 if you turn the antenna the right way, and Channel 25, our local public TV station, our local PBS station, and then we had 43, which was our big, UHF station out here, and then that went to 55, then Channel 61, and then Channel 19, and then for some crazy reason, Channel 8 and Channel 19 flipped over. Because of the whole Fox network thing coming in, and '19 was pretty cool though when it first came on, because they were re-airing, the original Galactica episodes. So if you wanted to watch Battlestar Galactica, all you had to do is flip to Channel 19 at the right time. But then next thing you know, we've got VCRs, we got CD, DVD players, and now we've got streaming television. Want to watch something? Chances are you can find it somewhere, because now we have smart TVs. Yeah, TV's so smart that, oh, goodness gracious. Smart TVs, oh. But I look at it this way, at least it's better in the old days when if the president came on, you were boned for the evening, because that's all the channels would show, except for maybe if you were lucky, your local PBS channel, or chances are, before the independent UHF channels had news, you could watch stuff there still. Unless they were airing baseball and or football. And well, yeah, they got that prequel series out for Lord of the Rings, and I quit watching that after like 1 or 2 episodes. It was, ugh. I'm like, why does everything now have to have a prequel series to it? Even Outlander's getting a prequel series. And I'm like, why? It's like, there are so many other stories you could tell, and they just don't want to bother, because we must write the origin story to this, that, these, and those. Like I said, for the most part, I didn't have any problems with Obi-Wan, but the problem is, at the same time, you've got him beating Darth Vader's ass all over the place. Oh no, they're not doing a prequel. They already effed up Dexter with that series they came up with last time. Oh yeah, the local town sheriff, who happens to be his girlfriend, figures out something that the FBI and everyone else couldn't figure out, and it's good. Yeah, and oh yeah, she's gonna try to pin him for being the Bay Harbor butcher with almost no evidence. Dexter should have laughed her right out of the room. It's like, for one, you're talking conflict of interest. We recently broke up, and considering the fact that Dexter had just found out, his sister was dead, his father found out his father committed suicide, his wife had been murdered, and all, it's like, hello. Of course, the guy regressed and took off and changed his name. Also, bringing Harrison back just so Harrison could, well, should I say, Harrison shot him in the end. Because I think they were hoping to get a new series out of it, and it wasn't going to work. And then the fact they try to hint that Dexter killed LaGuerta. Why would he kill LaGuerta? She didn't fit into the code. She didn't, what do you call it? He blew town. Why would he go back to town to kill LaGuerta? So that whole thing didn't make any sense. Bad Batch for Star Wars, I've got to get caught up on. I've never watched it. I keep hearing good things about it, but at the same time, I kind of shied away from the animated series for those. Especially after they brought Thrawn in, who's a tactical genius, who's going to be, outfought and outmaneuvered by the equivalent of the Scooby-Doo gang. Then you've got basically a youngling and a Padawan taking out Darth Vader and holding their own, and then you got, of course, so I kind of shied away from those at that point. I got tired of Vader being turned into this big wuss. Yeah, so I kind of shied away from the animated series over time because I really kind of liked Rebels. Like I said, but then it got to that point and I was pretty much done with it. Yeah, he might be in the what do you call it? Because that's where he belonged. I'll give him that for the Ahsoka Tano series. I love how Ahsoka's become this big mythical figure. She walked away on the Jedi, and now she's a Jedi. She left the Jedi Order, but now she's a Jedi. Well, they had to get her out of there before Order 66 took place, so. But at least, they are finally putting Thrawn in the era he belonged in the first place, which was, post Endor. Because Thrawn took over the remnant of the Empire, and they were holding their own because of his tactical genius. And they even began to expand again, if you've read the Zahn books. Which, of course, Disney blatantly ignored. That's why I find it weird that now they want to go back to it. They're like, Favreau's bringing in more and more of the expanded universe. Especially when you have, characters showing up like Cad Bane and things like that. Favreau had the nuts to go where, a lot of people wouldn't go. And that's why Favreau is the man for Star Wars. I'm not kidding. Most people would know if you had sat down and told people, look, you're going to see, Luke Skywalker in his prime, teaching at the, his newly founded academy, all that stuff. A couple of years ago, if you told somebody that, they'd laugh in your face. but he made it happen. I'm sitting there dying laughing. I watched the reaction video, and you got all these people bitching about the CGI. I'm like, look, they did eventually get it right, especially, for the Book of Boba Fett sequences. But you got to remember, this is something major deep fake that they had never tried before. I guess I might have to go back later and watch some of these series, because, like I said, I kind of shied away from them at that point. There were so many stories they could have told in the sequel universe, and then sadly, because of this, that, these, and those, they never happened. Like I said, my major conflict with the sequels that I'll never forgive them for was the fact that, Luke, they had Luke in a position where he was going to strike down not only one of his students in his sleep, which is a plain cowardly act of fear, which is completely against the Jedi way. But this is also his nephew, his best friend, and his sister's son. He's going to cut him down in his sleep like a coward. That's one thing I'll never forgive the sequel movies for. Everything else, I'm like, okay, you tried. But that's all I can say. Also, like I said, it's been leaking out more and more that Rey was supposed to be Kenobi's daughter. And the problem is, I don't think they wanted to explain how that happened. It was easier to have it be Palpatine's, because, Sith Lords don't care about, attachment and things like that, or, having relations. But apparently, exactly, that's what they made him out to be. And I was like, and even Mark Hamill has not liked the way they did that. He like I said, he's in offhand ways, he's kind of put it out there he did not like this idea. Matter of fact, after he watched his sequence they put in Mandalorian, he said, this is how you write Luke Skywalker. Take that, what's his name, Johnson or whatever. So he was not happy with it either. Now they're trying to claim it was Lucas's thing all along, that original plan, that Luke ended up becoming a hermit. And I'm like, it was? Because the Zahn books were the ones he officially recognized as being the sequel series, and that ain't in there. But like I said, the only person you can truly blame for all this stuff is George Lucas, because he proved that your dreams have a price tag and they can be sold to the highest bidder. So anything that's happened since he sold it, that's on him. But like I said, his number one major mistake, instead of making the prequels, he could have made those prequels anytime. He should have made the sequels during that time. Well, I'm not worried about that right now, because we don't really know about what's going on with the Meeps and the Wraiths other than what we've been told in the comic books. So, not a lot going on there, not much side-to-side action there. So until we find out more, not really much I can say on it. But if you want to look on TARDIS Wiki and stuff like that, you can read about, I believe, the Meeps, the Wraiths, and all that stuff, because that was in the... I know the name of the series, and someone told me it's in the comic books, one of the comic book series. And Beep the Meep does make a couple appearances, if I remember right, in the Big Finish range. One was the Ratings War. That was the 6th Doctor in Beep the Meep. Well, I got to get running, folks, because I am way over time. I got to run inside. So, take care, everyone. Enjoy your days. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Have a happy Thursday. And we'll catch you all on the flip side.